Clearly, it's always good to get loan from World Bank because of the moratorium, and it's far, far better than domestic borrowing to not give us pressure home for us to have capital for that small businesses. I think for that, it's good. But in terms of the pressure, in fact, if you look at it critically, if you borrow this money, it has impact on our inflation. It will have impacts also on our, purchasing power, our all earnings. So if you look at it generally, for me, the time I'm actually referring to is the timing of the election period, because you have to look at the political side of it. We don't want our money to go into political programs, because if you borrow at this point in time, it simply means that, and the money is released before the election, that money might find its way to politics. That's what I was trying to talk about. But in terms of borrowing and timing for borrowing, every economy actually borrows. Even the biggest economy, they borrow. But the fact remains that they actually strictly use the money for what they intend to use it for, not that they will vary it. Perhaps if you look at this borrowing, it is tied to job creation and investment. When I try to look at it critically, when you say investment, I discover that it is much more of a to provide a meter, power sector, and I discovered that this power sector we're actually getting loan for every now and then. It makes these people in that sector much more not perform as expected, because if you look at power sector, the discos is privatized, the Genco is privatized, but if you look at the disco, as if there is no any much more investment. Also, we have actually unbundle electricity sector, whereby states can actually invest adequately, but we've not seen them invest. So I think government should do more to encourage discos to invest more, and to encourage states to invest more, rather than saying they want to actually borrow more. Then in terms of job creation, sometimes they need to actually break it down for us. Are they creating enabling environment for people to actually work, or they want to still give some stipend, which we need to look at critically. Our MSME need to survive, and for them to survive, the critical sector is just the energy sector that will actually enable them to actually work. So loan itself is not actually bad. What we're using it for is what is the challenge. But the other concern that we have as a Nigerian is that we have actually, government have actually find different means of getting sourcing for fund. You recall there was first subsidy remover, there was flotation of naira. There's also subsidy remover to an extent in electricity. So this makes more money available for government. In fact, government have more money in our foreign reserve. So you now wonder, why are we actually borrowing to this extent if we have all this working for us? You also remember that most state governments said they have more money according to what the park is sharing, over 2 trillion now. So I think we should tarry. If we are told we are going to borrow, let us hold on until after election.